Welcome to Intuitive Play. All right, I see there's already several comments here. Let me go ahead and take a look here. And already several of you that have joined. So as you're coming in, please say hello, say where you're joining from. And then also when I reveal the crystals, which you might already know which ones they are, if you are familiar with crystals, then please just go ahead and chime in and say, hey, I picked this one. And then also let everyone know how this applies to you. So let me go ahead and take a look here 4 times. Oh, okay. So Liberata was asking as far as the drawing. So let me go ahead and get started with that. Hi, Marcy. So let's see. Nathalie is saying, hello, I'm new, welcome, welcome. Okay, so drawing. So let me tell you about the drawing. So I do the drawing once a month. It's always at the end of the month for a 30-minute session with me. And it's a long distance Zoom session. And so everyone that enters, the way to enter is basically either if you're in my Silkis Art community, which I would encourage you to join because we do a lot of fun other stuff in there too. So if you are on a spiritual path, I would definitely encourage you to come into the community. It's a free community, and I share things, and of course it's a community, so it's for all of you to share together as well and to connect. If you're on a spiritual path, then I would really recommend you join the community. And I have a document in the community specifically if you share anything, either the posts or the Facebook lives, or if you're inviting someone into the community, then you're always welcome to add your name to that specific document that's there, and I will make sure that I add your name to the bowl. So anytime that you share, just go ahead and write down your name, and your name gets added to the bowl every time. And if you're sharing here, I don't see all the shares necessarily. It depends, Facebook won't let me necessarily see everyone's shares, but everyone's shares who I do see, I automatically add those names to the bowl as well. So it's probably a good idea if you're sharing to make sure that you just comment, hey, I shared, and then this way I can make sure that I write down your name as well. So there's not a drawing tonight, but there's always at the end of the month, except this month, because I'm going to take a summer break after this Facebook Live, and I will pick it up again on, I think it's the 26th of September, if I'm correct, but I'll check on that later for a minute as well. So on the 26th of September, that's when the next drawing is going to be. So actually on the next Facebook Live that you're going to be seeing me on, I'm going to go ahead and do the drawing again. And your name will stay in the bowl. So again, every time you enter the drawing, your name is automatically still there, and you automatically still have a chance to enter. And once you won, then I actually have to, make sure that your name is no longer in there for 3 months, because after that you will be eligible to win again. So your name gets added in there again. So I hope that helps, just to kind of clarify as far as how the drawing works. Okay, so Liberata, your name is in there, by the way. So yeah. But every time you share, go ahead and just add your name. Since you are in my Silkis Art community, I would recommend you just go ahead and add your name to that as well. Debbie, good evening. Okay, so a lot of people have picked crystal number 2 and 3, not so many number 1. So I'm curious to see how this all applies to you this evening. So let's go ahead and get started with intuitive play. All right, so we're going to just go ahead and get started with crystal number 1. I'm not going to worry about introducing myself tonight. I think you're already familiar with me. If not, you can absolutely look at my bio and kind of learn a little bit about me. But my journey now, my path is really just to really apply all the skills that I have learned as far as healing and teaching spirituality. And I love to just give back at this point in a really beautiful way to empower you, for you to find your own journey and for you to grow on your own journey. And that's my path, and that's what I love to give at this point. So hi, Cindy, welcome. Okay, so who, if anyone has picked crystal number 1, please go ahead and chime in and say, hey, I have. And again, if you're watching the replay, you can still go ahead and still chime in, and I always take a look at the results as well. Okay, so crystal number 1 is a really beautiful bamboo jasper. And I'm just going to go ahead and show it to you here. Just absolutely beautiful structure. And jasper is just one of those overall beautiful grounding stones with just so many possibilities and so many things that it has to offer for you to us. Of course, it's always really great for the lower chakras, just because it's a very earthy, very grounding stone, very stabilizing stone. It also is at the same time a very energizing stone as well. So if you feel depleted in your energy in any way, then that's a really, really great one for you to use just overall for the physical body, just to kind of, help uplift you. And it can also help with prolonged illness as well. And again, it helps to balance and stabilize your system, and also balances the yin and yang energies in our bodies as well. It strengthens the immune system, works really great on the kidneys, the spleen, the bladder, the liver, gallbladder. So it's stomach. So it's really, like I said, just the overall really beautiful stone. So anything you can think of more for the lower chakras, that's really where it's extremely nurturing. So if you're thinking like in terms of when you go out in nature and you just feel really comfortable and it's this beautiful warm day and you feel supported, that's kind of, the same energy that bamboo jasper has. It's not one that has a very fast moving vibration, but it's just so beautiful and very gentle, and just really works on a very beautiful, subtle level. And it can help eliminate negativity and just really help us to tune in and to increase our life force, our chi. And so again, it's just a really beautiful crystal for anyone to have for any life purpose. And so if you have picked crystal number 1, please go ahead and write that down right now and how that would apply to you. And I did create an affirmation for all of them. And so what I wrote down for bamboo jasper, I'm going to go ahead and read to you now. I wrote, I am deeply supported and grounded in my life. I find balance in all I do. So again, if you have picked the bamboo jasper, then please go ahead and let us know how that applies to you in your life. Because my belief is that whatever you're drawn to, then with your own intuition, what you need and what supports you. And of course, so that's what you would naturally gravitate toward. Okay, and then crystal number 2. So crystal number 2 is very different from bamboo jasper, because now we're really getting into much more of a higher vibration, faster moving energy for sure, and that is lepidolite. And so lepidolite can clear electromagnetic smog, for example, and pollution. Marcy says she picked 2. Let's see. Marcy, I picked 2. Was 3 pulling me strongly too. Okay, awesome. So let's see how, what kind of thoughts you had as far as picking number 2 intuitively, what tuned you in for that. Let's see. Oh, okay, cool. All right. So, so if you're thinking of lepidolite, of course, it has the purplish color. So, of course, it's very clearing, cleansing, just like the violet flame would have. So purification, of course, dissipating negative energies, removing any blocks in your system. It's more for the higher chakras. And so, of course, it works very beautiful as far as stress relief, clearing, any mental blocks. And again, also a deep emotional healing as well, because of course it works on the mental level. And so lepidolite is really a very miraculous stone, just because it holds so much beautiful energy for us and so much supportive energy for all our higher chakras. And it can also tune us into a very nurturing energy of just kind of finding compassion and connecting in with our heart even too, in challenging situation, where it helps us find more of that supportive energy as far as like the calm in the storm when we're kind of feeling, oh, hi, Britt. Hi, Britt. Britt said she picked number 2 as well. So yeah, if we're finding ourselves, not centered and we find ourselves kind of in the middle of a storm, then this is a really beautiful crystal. So lepidolite can really help balance that for us. And it encourages our own independence too, our own independent thinking. And it even works really great with our immune system and strengthens our immune system as well. So letting go of worry, of acceptance, acceptance where we are, and again, working on the mental level to clear any energies that might be blocking us, or, even also to the point of just us being able to more clearly tune in to our guidance and more easily decipher between the different paths that we maybe want to choose or that we need to go. So of course, great for the third eye, great for the crown chakra, and let's see, just overall stress relief and just a very higher vibration. So as I'm holding this, even it just feels really good just because of, like I said, it's really beautiful, very gentle, but at the same time much faster moving energy than, for example, the bamboo jasper, for example. So let me see what Marcy said. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, so let me tell you all a little bit, and several of you are in beauty flourishing. So we'll do a meditation later on beauty flourishing. And of course, today is a really special day. It is the Assumption of Mary to heaven. And there is a portal that opens up on this specific day where there's just this beautiful feminine space that's created. And then sometimes, of course, when this kind of energy comes in, and so always just remember August 15th, it never changes. It's always that set day where there's just this really special quality that's in the air. But whenever we're tuning in to more of that feminine aspect of us, then of course we're also allowing emotions to come up, we're allowing things to release. And so I know I was feeling this kind of today too, where I felt a lot more sensitive to things. And so it's a really great time for us to look and see if anything is coming up. So if there's something coming up for you, Marcy, then the clearing and stress relief that I'm reading here, so that can definitely be triggered by a day like today. And just know that today is still, until the day passes, and then even a little bit beyond it, because we can still stretch that energy as well. It's still a really good opportunity for you to just shift some things that you might want to change as far as frequencies that are present in your life, because you can absolutely do this today in a really beautiful, very feminine, sensitive and really divine way. That's the quality, that essence of today. And again, I'm going to be talking more about it later in Beauty Flourishing. So let's see if anyone has picked number 2, and I know several of you have. Maybe if you want to chime in also how that applies to you. And hi, Karen, by the way. And Karen said she chose number 3. So we're going to go ahead and get to number 3. And also, by the way, lepidolite is really great too for sleep disorders as well, and for nightmares. So if you're experiencing any of that, then you may want to have a lepidolite close by, or maybe under your pillow even. And by the way, which was so funny that because I was talking last week about several women, putting crystals in their bra, and I'm not sure if I did that in Silke's art community or here, but anyway, it was so funny that so many of you were like, yep, that's me. So that was just kind of fun. And even in the Reiki class I was teaching, I was like, yep, I do that. So, awesome. I love it. Okay. Hi, Linda. And Linda said she picked number 2. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and get to number 3. So Linda, I hope you were able to catch a little bit of the lepidolite. If not, then of course you can go ahead and watch the replay. All right. So crystal number 3 is green moss agate. So let's see. There we go. Okay. So green moss agate is, just, if you're looking at in comparison as far as the jaspers and the agates, of course, they're in the same family. And, so you're going to have similar qualities that you would also have with the jasper as well. Oh, and Linda's saying she'll watch the replay. By the way, I forgot to tell you all. So Linda, you're still on time because I forgot to share my affirmation that I created for the lepidolite. So if you've picked number 2, this is the affirmation for you if it feels right for you. And so what I wrote down for lepidolite is, I release worries and fears to source. and purify my spirit for my highest good. Okay, so now crystal number 3. Okay, so green moss agate works really beautiful with earth in general. It's really great if you like gardening, for example. It's very supportive for you. It's very grounding, nurturing. It's really great, by the way, for midwives and also throughout pregnancy and then childbirth. So if you happen to be pregnant or you're nearing childbirth, or if you are a midwife, for example, or you're part of a delivery team, then this is going to be a really, really great one for you. Oh, Marcy's saying that the affirmation is fitting. Wonderful, perfect. I'm glad. And so, yeah, so this is going to be a really great one for you. And so if you're thinking in terms expanding that idea as far as it being really good for births, for midwives, then of course you can also imagine that it's really great for any new endeavors that you have in your life. So any challenging situations that you're moving through, any blocks that you might have moving into the next section in your life, also any physical move as far as, just moving to a different space, just within your work, for example, or anything along those lines, any changes, any shifts that you're having, any new births that you're creating in your life, this is going to be a really beautiful stone for you. So I would really encourage you to really look into green moss agate for anything new, any new challenging situations that you're feeling, or any shifts, because sometimes when we're used to something, it can, and then we have to shift into a different gear, it can sometimes be kind of disruptive. And so this is a really great thing for any new birthings any new beginnings that you're creating. It's also a stone of abundance, of course. It's green. And then again, it's just very earthy. So of course it supports all of that. And then of course also the Devic realms. So the devas of the land, the elementals, the nature spirits. So especially today, it's a really great day, to have, if you do have a green moss agate, it's a really great stone for you today just to hold, because again, the energies today are very beautiful and finite, and really suited well for that. And so working with, the beautiful nature spirits and with earth, and this is really the stone for that. So again, if you love gardening, then this is kind of the stone for you to use for that, for sure. And then of course it also, just like jasper, it's also a very balancing and stabilizing stone in general, and it can really help you with your self-esteem, of course. Also help relieve fears and stress that you might feel and worries, and really bring you more into an optimistic state, just because it's such a beautiful uplifting stone. And then as far as health-wise, it can also work with colds, fevers, and flus as well. So if you have picked number 3 and you are having to be on right now, and Karen said she picked number 3, then go ahead and let us know. And again, if you're watching the replay, then you can still chime in as well. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know, and I'm going to go ahead and read the affirmation for green moss agate. So green moss agate is, and again, this is just something that I wrote. And of course, with each crystal or stone, there's so many different possibilities of what you can use and how you can go ahead and apply it. But so again, what I'm reading, this affirmation, is just one possibility, basically. But I just like to do the affirmations for you, just so you have something to walk away with. Okay, so Marcy was saying, well, I've been trying to get pregnant. Oh, wow. Oh, that is really beautiful. I love it. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, that sounds really good, Marcy. Awesome. Okay, so the affirmation that I wrote down is, I am in harmony with the earth and have stability within new beginnings and throughout changes. Okay. And bringing it all together, because of course, if you're on this call, then there is a little message for you in all of them, of course, because it does combine it together. So working with the beautiful energies of bamboo jasper, knowing that you are supported and that you are grounded in your life, and that you can find just that energizing aspect in everything that you do, and you can be revitalized. And then moving, of course, into more of the higher chakra progress here, and knowing our connection to source and the support that we have within it, and searching for that highest good and what that means for us maybe as well too, and then working in harmony with the earth and in the stability and new beginnings and changes in our life, and feeling ourselves still grounded within that and still feeling ourselves supported within that. Okay, so I had already mentioned to you that I am taking a temporary late summer break from the Facebook Lives until, let's see, so September 26th, and I will be back September 26th, and I'm actually going to go ahead and do the drawing on the 26th. So if you would like to participate in the drawing, again, in my Silke's Art community, you can add your name to the document that's there, and of course you can also add, also reply here and say, hey, I shared, and I'll make sure that I also enter your name into the drawing there as well. And again, I always go through it before the drawing, when that always comes, and go through all the names, make sure that everyone's name is in there. And again, if you have won for the past 3 months, then that name will be temporarily removed, just so others get a chance to win as well. But then your name is still there, and it'll be added at that time. And I love sharing and giving. And if you've had my numerology reading or a card reading with me, then you kind of have a general idea of what it is. But really, for me, having learned numerology on such a beautiful level, and knowing how to work with the energy of the numbers and how it applies to you and how it can support you in your life, and for you to have a deeper understanding of your own connection with yourself and your soul. And it's just a really beautiful way to just kind of open that field for you and expand your life in whole new possibilities that you might not have known before. And hi, Susan, welcome. So glad you're here. Okay, is there anything else that I can offer to you tonight before I sign off here and sign in later at 7 in Beauty Flourishing? Let me know, please. By the way, Beauty Flourishing is open again. I am doing open enrollment this month, so you can just come in if you'd like. There's no deadline as of right now until the end of September or beginning of October. And at that point, most likely I will go ahead and close it again for a little while. But again, if you feel guided to it, then you can just go ahead and come on in, and we will welcome you, of course. Okay, awesome. Wonderful. And so remember the full moon, of course, right now we're in a waxing phase of the moon. So the full moon will be August 26th. And that's something, of course, to look forward to. So right now, energies are building. So what are you creating in your life? What are you bringing in? How are you nurturing yourself? How are you nurturing your family? And what are your higher ambitions that you have for yourself? How are you following your own soul path, and what you're contributing to the world? And what beauty are you bringing to the world? And how are you helping raise the vibration of this beautiful planet that we have, and supporting others in this? And again, of course, always tuning into yourself first and making sure that you're nurtured and taken care of, so this way you can support others and be taken care of. And again, always honor your feelings, and respect them. I think that's the most important thing, for us, not to ever think that we have to hold things together, or even that we shouldn't feel this way, or we should be at a different level. So I think true spirituality and the true beauty that we really have to offer is to always be honest and be able to connect in and understand and have that compassion and that grace for ourselves and for others as well, and leave a lot of space for that and lean into it. Okay, so I am going to see you all back on the 26th. I am going to pop in to my Silke's Art community while I'm taking the summer break. But other than that, here on my public page, you'll probably see some pictures of me, maybe some comments and maybe some things. But other than that, like I said, I am taking a small break, and I'll be back on the 26th with the next... Yep, 26th. Okay. So on the full moon, no, wait a minute, not on the full moon. So that's August, sorry. So yeah, on the 26th of September, I will be back, and I will see you then. And until then, namaste. And you have a beautiful evening. And I hope that this was beautiful, helpful for you, and that you can connect with the messages and that they will guide you in a beautiful way. Bye.